Dental and eye exams being excluded is a surprise to me personally because I would think that's also something important and should have been included. But nevertheless.
Hello and welcome back to Eye Health Connections, episode 5. I'm your host, Dr. Rashmi Nair. Joining us today for our discussion is my close friend Umesh Menon, who is a leader in the finance and banking industry. Hello Umesh, welcome to the show.
Hey Rashmi, pleasure to be here.
Today's episode we are talking about Medicare Part A and Part B. In my last episode, I had covered 15 surprising facts everyone should know about Medicare, and Umesh, the next one we will be talking about Medicare Part C, Part D and Medigap policies.
Yeah, the previous episode was very helpful and insightful. I was pleasantly surprised to hear a lot of things that I never knew about it, and I'm curious to know more. So can we just dive right into it? Because I've got a slew of questions that I can think of or on top of my head.
Yeah, sure. I think we are going to be covering a lot more detail about Medicare on this episode, so it'll be fun.
Perfect. So let's start with the first question that I have, right? So what is Medicare?
Medicare is a federal health insurance program which is intended for people who are 65 or older. There are exceptions. Certain younger people with disabilities and people with end-stage renal disease, which is a permanent kidney failure requiring dialysis or a transplant, also qualify for Medicare. Original Medicare, which is Part A and Part B, is the coverage managed by federal government. Generally, there is a cost for each service. You can go to any doctor, healthcare provider, hospital, or facility that is enrolled in Medicare and accepting new Medicare patients. With a few exceptions, most prescriptions aren't covered in original Medicare. You can add drug coverage by joining a Medicare drug plan, which is the Part D. We will cover Part D in our next episode. Overall, in original Medicare, you don't need to choose a primary care doctor. You do not need a referral, but the specialist must be enrolled in Medicare.
Okay, so my next question, when can someone join, switch or drop from a Medicare plan?
There are different time frames for enrolling into Medicare. The first one I'll talk about is the initial enrollment period. When you first become eligible for Medicare, that is your initial enrollment period, and it is a 7-month time frame. So the month that you turn 65 and 3 months prior to that, so it becomes 4, plus 3 months after you turn 65. In total, you have a 7-month time frame during the initial enrollment period. The next one is the open enrollment period, which is every year from October 15 through December 7th. You can join, you can switch, or you can drop a plan. The coverage for this will start January 1st as long as the plan gets your request by December 7th. The next one is the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, which is every year from January 1st through March 31st. So if you are enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, you can switch to a different Medicare Advantage plan, or you can switch back to original Medicare and join a separate Medicare drug plan.
Can you give us some insights into different parts of Medicare?
Medicare has 4 different parts. Medicare Part A, which is the hospital insurance, covers inpatient hospital stays, care in a skilled nursing facility, hospice care, and some home health services. Medicare Part B is the medical insurance, which covers certain doctor services, outpatient care services, medical supplies, and preventive services. Medicare Part D, which is the prescription drug coverage, helps cover the cost of prescription drugs. It also includes shots or vaccines that we take. I skipped Medicare Part C purposely because Medicare Part C or Medicare Advantage is an alternate to original Medicare, which is Part A and Part B. So Medicare Part C is Medicare Part A, B, and D offered through private health insurance companies on behalf of Medicare.
That's interesting. So getting into the cost aspect, how expensive is it to enroll into Medicare?
Most people don't pay a monthly premium for Part A. You can get premium-free Part A at 65 if you already get retirement benefits from Social Security or the Railroad Retirement Board, or you are eligible to get Social Security or Railroad benefits but haven't filed for them yet, or you or your spouse had Medicare-covered government employment. most people would have already qualified for premium-free Part A through their employment. If you or your spouse paid Medicare taxes for a certain amount of time, which is 10 years, working for an employer who has paid FICA taxes, you qualify for the 40 minimum credit that is required by Medicare, and hence you can get premium-free Part A. Even if you don't qualify for premium-free Part A, which means you do not have to pay a monthly premium, you can still purchase Part A. Certain younger people under 65 can get premium-free Part A if they get Social Security or Railroad Retirement Board disability benefits for 24 months, or if they have end-stage renal disease and meet certain requirements.
How much are Part A premiums for 2020?
They pay either $252 or up to $458 each month. This is for 2020. Now in 2021, it is $259 to $471, depending on how long they or their spouse has worked and paid the Medicare taxes. If you choose not to buy Part A, you can still buy Part B. In most cases, if you choose to buy Part A, you must also have Medicare Part B, which was a medical insurance that we talked about, and also pay a monthly premium for both Part A and Part B.
So you're talking about a range between $252 and $458. Now, how about monthly premium for Part B Medicare?
Most people will pay the standard Part B premium amount. However, you have to pay a premium each month for Part B, and your Part B premium will be automatically deducted from your benefit payment if you get benefits from either the Social Security or the Railroad Retirement Board or the Office of Personnel Management. If you do not get benefits from any of these, you will get a bill.
Just so I understand, how much are the Part B premiums for 2020?
The standard Part B premium amount in 2020 is $144.60. Having said that, what I want to make it clear is that Part B premiums are based on your income. It's based on your modified adjusted gross income, which is reported on your IRS tax return for the last 2 years. For example, if you are filing as an individual and your income is $87,000 or less, or if you were filing jointly and your income has been $174,000 or less, then you would have paid $144.60. But on the other hand, if you are filing as an individual and your income was above $87,000 and up to $109,000, you would have paid $202.40.
Understood. In addition to the premium, are there any out-of-pocket payments that beneficiary is responsible for?
Yes, so for Medicare, you need to be aware of deductibles, co-payments, or co-insurances. You generally pay a set amount for your healthcare, which is the deductible, before Medicare pays its share. When Medicare pays its share, you have to have your share contributed, which is the co-insurance or co-payment for covered services and supplies. There is no yearly limit for what you pay out of pocket.
So once you meet the deductible, is there a split, meaning what you pay versus what Medicare pays?
For covered services, Medicare will pay 80% and generally the enrollee will pay 20%. And that's the co-insurance that I was talking about.
That makes sense. Let's drill in further here. What does Part A cover?
In general, Part A covers the inpatient care that is provided in a hospital, skilled nursing facility care services, nursing home care services. When I say nursing home care services, it is inpatient care in a skilled nursing facility that's not qualifying as custodial or long-term care services. Some other services that get covered are hospice care services and certain home health care services too.
What about Part B? What does Part B cover?
Part B covers 2 types of services. There are medically necessary services and preventive services. Medically necessary services are those services or supplies which are needed to diagnose or treat the medical condition and that meet accepted standards of medical practice. Preventive services are those services which are provided to prevent an illness, example like the flu vaccine, or detect an early stage, for example, cancer detection services. When treatment is most likely to work the best, those kind of services qualify as preventive. You generally pay nothing for most of the preventive services if you get the services from a healthcare provider who accepts assignment. Part B covers things like clinical research, ambulance services, durable medical equipments, mental health, including inpatient, outpatient, and partial hospitalizations. There is also limited outpatient prescription drugs that get covered.
So before we proceed further, right? Can you elaborate what is accepts assignment?
Providers who accept assignment is basically those providers who have agreed to the rates and services that is offered by Medicare.
Now that we covered what's covered under Medicare Part A and B, what services are not covered under Medicare?
Umesh, when we are talking Medicare Part A, Part B coverage, we are specifically talking about original Medicare coverage. So having said that, when we talk about what is not covered, again, that refers to original Medicare. So original Medicare doesn't cover all the services. There are some items such as the long-term care, dental care, eye exams, dentures, cosmetic surgery, acupuncture, hearing aids, and even routine foot care sometimes doesn't get covered under original Medicare. If you need services that Medicare doesn't cover, you will have to pay for them unless you have other insurance or a Medicare health plan that covers them.
So dental and eye exams being excluded is a surprise to me personally, because I would think that's also something important and should have been included. But nevertheless.
You're absolutely right. If you think about seniors, they do need more of the dental, eye exams, vision, hearing. These are things that would be considered as covered services. But typically original Medicare does not cover it. And that's where Medicare Part C, which is the Medicare Advantage, becomes beneficial for enrollees.
So how is the Medicare coverage determined?
Coverage for Medicare is based on three main factors like the federal and state laws, national coverage decisions which are made by Medicare about whether something should be covered, and also the local coverage decisions made by companies in each state that process the claims for Medicare. These companies decide whether something is medically necessary and should be covered in that area.
Let's move on to Medicare Part C now. What is Medicare Part C?
Medicare Part C or Medicare Advantage is basically another way to get Medicare Part A and Part B coverage. Simply put, it is an all-in-one alternative to original Medicare. Medicare Advantage plans are offered by Medicare-approved private companies that must follow the rules set by Medicare. These bundled plans include Part A, Part B, and usually Part D. Most plans offer extra benefits that original Medicare doesn't cover. Example, vision, hearing, dental, and even gym benefits get covered under Medicare Advantage. And if you remember, these are services that was not covered under original Medicare. Medicare Advantage plans have yearly contracts with Medicare and follow Medicare's coverage rules. The plan should also notify the enrollee if there are any changes they have to make before the start of the next enrollment year.
So far it sounds the Part C is better than the original Medicare. So what is there a catch?
Medicare Advantage has many benefits. In many cases, you will have to use doctors and other providers who are in the plan's network and service area to get the lower cost. Some plans will not cover services from providers outside the plan's network and service area. It is always a good idea to check with the plan before you enroll to see what benefits it offers, if you might qualify, and if there are any limitations.
So that's a lot of information that we just divulged here for all the listeners. What Part A covers, what Part B is, and what Part C is. I'm sure that there is a lot more details, Rashmi, that we need to talk about in our future episodes.
Yeah, you're right, Umesh. The next episode, we will be talking about Medicare Part C, Part D, and Medigap policies.
That makes sense. However, looks like we ran out of time for today's episode. So before we close it out for today, are there any key takeaways for our listeners?
Yes, I just want to close out by saying, Since original Medicare has many services that is not getting covered, most enrollees will have to purchase additional coverage. So for example, in addition to having a Medigap policy, you might also need to purchase long-term care policies in order to cover long-term care services. I highly recommend that seniors becoming eligible for Medicare review their health plan needs before choosing original Medicare or Medicare Advantage. We will talk about more details on the Medigap policies or medical supplement insurance policy in detail in our next episode. Thanks for listening to this episode. Want more from me or want to be a guest on my show? Whatever it might be, you can go to ihealthconnections.com and drop me a note or comment in the contact section. I'll be covering a lot of some very cool stuff, so be sure to subscribe to the iHealth Connections podcast so you don't miss any new shows that I put out. You can also find me at Dr. Rashmi Nair on Twitter. Thanks for listening to iHealth Connections. This is Dr. Rashmi Nair signing off.